Hi everybody, my name's Wanda, and I just want to talk a little bit about Jesus. When I was younger, I was like most everybody else. I lived my life in sin. I was raised up in church. I went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. I believed in the Lord, and I put a lot of trust in Him when I was younger. And then when I got older, in my teens, I got away from Jesus and started drinking and stuff, and done some stuff that I shouldn't have done. I was like every other rebellious teenager, I guess. When I was 19, I got poisoned off alcohol and almost died. For 7 days, I didn't know I was in the world. If it hadn't been for a good friend of mine, I don't know what would have happened. Let me reiterate, a good friend of mine and Jesus, I don't know what would have happened. She was there, she took care of me, and it was by the grace of God that she was there for me. I was so sick. One day when I was feeling a little bit clear-headed, I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if you'll let me get over this, I won't ever do this again. I got to feeling better, and I got to where I was able to eat. I started out eating saltine crackers, that's all I could keep down. And then I gradually got where I could eat solid food. And my friend was right there with me. And I told my mom about it after I got over it. And she told me, she said, you know, you made a bargain with God, you better keep it. Said, you best not, because God don't make bargains. But she said, you made that bargain, said you best keep it. So I got better, and I quit with the alcohol. Every once in a while I would drink a little bit, but I pretty much quit. Then one weekend I went with one of my cousins to a bar where she sang karaoke. She wanted me to go with her, and I went with her. And they kept right on with me to have a drink. And instead of using my better judgment and listening to the Lord, I decided it'd been 13 years, I decided I'd take a drink. I drank one whiskey sour and started on the second one, and got sick and had to go to the bathroom throwing up. We had to go home. I didn't know nothing for 3 days. I was out of it for 3 days. My husband took care of me, tended to me. He even called in and told him I had food poisoning, so I wouldn't lose my job. After the 3 days, I said, this is it. I'll never do it again. That was in 2002. It's been 17 years. No alcohol. That alcohol, my drinking, and me getting sick was as a direct consequence of disobeying God and going back on my word. Because He was telling me to leave it alone, and I ignored it and drank it anyway. So I got sick. We make decisions in our lifetime. And when we make these decisions outside of God, there's serious consequences. We can blame God, we can blame whoever we want. You say the devil made me do it. That's poppycock. You got a decision. It is your decision. The devil can tempt you, but he can't make you do it. It is your decision. And I made some bad ones in my life. But if you live your life in Jesus' will and not your own, things will be a whole lot better off. I'm not saying that when you get saved that you won't have trials and tribulations, and sometimes things will be even worse. We'll have worse problems put on us, but that's the devil's doings. He is fighting God. He is trying to steal our souls away from God, and he'll do it through any means necessary. He'll bring us down through sickness, lose a family member, lose our job. Anyway, he is here to kill, steal, and destroy, and that's his whole purpose. And we out there drinking, think we're having fun, doing dangerous stunts and stuff, racing, whatever, thinking we're having fun. You might think it's fun. I thought it was fun. But it ain't a thing in the world but the devil trying to steal you away and bring you down and destroy you. That's all it is. There is nothing in this world. The world don't have enough to offer to lose your soul over. Because what's in this world is just a passing thing. It's not a everlasting thing. It passes. Everything passes away. Houses crumble, cars break down, bank accounts get depleted, and when a person passes away, none of that money, none of that belongings, none of that stuff does them any good. They cannot buy their way into heaven. I don't know how many will pay what I'm saying any attention, but I just know that I have been through some stuff, and I know that it was my own doing. Disobedience to God. I wanted to do it my way, and my way didn't work. But when I changed and went back to the Lord and started trying to do things His way, things are better. Everybody has been blessed in some way. The Lord has worked miracles in everybody's life, even when they didn't know it was happening. God is there. He has not turned His back on nobody. He didn't turn His back on me. I turned my back on Him. And I just want to say that I hope everybody out there, if you're lost and living outside of the Lord, that you will sit down and have a little talk with Jesus and tell him that you believe in him and that you know he died on the cross so that you could live, have eternal life, a life with Jesus when you leave this world. You have got to believe that Jesus died on the cross for your salvation. Because there ain't but one way to heaven, and that's through Jesus Christ. I know that when you're out there drinking and partying, having a good time, I've been there. You're not really having a good time. I have just as much fun. I have joy. More than I did back yonder when I was living out in sin and doing what I wanted to do. I've got joy in my heart. Joy for the Lord. And I just hope that anybody listening, anybody that listens will talk with Jesus so they can receive joy and contentment regardless of what goes on. You will still have the joy of Jesus in your heart. It will change your attitude, your outlook. It will. Before I got saved, there was always a void in my heart. Money, fancy vehicle, big houses, none of that can fill that void. There's always an emptiness in your heart. It takes Jesus to fill that void. And accepting Jesus filled that void in my heart. And I live in joy all the time. Because I know when I leave this world, Jesus has a place for me, waiting on me. I just hope that this message helps or sends a blessing, is a blessing to some that listen. I don't want to be preachy or anything. I'm just talking from experience. A testimony. Giving my testimony. I have this is just the beginning. I have other things that I'd like to testify to later, but that's for another day. I just wanted to let you know that I was drinking and out there in the world at one time, and I thought I was having fun. That I had some bad things happen to me, and I can't blame none of it on nobody but myself, because it was my decision. I made those decisions to do those things, and I made all my decisions without God. And regardless of what you do, your job, getting married, buying a home, whatever, you should consult Jesus before you do it. Jesus will lead you down the right path. Now, sometimes what you want to do and what Jesus wants for you may not be the same thing. It may not be in His will. But if you strive to do something and you consult and it don't turn out, then you know you're going down the wrong path. It's not the path that He has for you to go. So you need to sit down and talk with Him and ask Him what it is He wants for you. And you build a relationship with Jesus, He'll tell you what is best for you and what you should do or shouldn't do. It's all about making the right decisions and trusting in God. You've got to believe in God and put your whole trust in Him wholeheartedly. Trusting in myself didn't work. Trusting in God works. I want to thank you very much for listening, and I hope you'll join me again, and I hope you'll have a blessed day. May Lord bless you and keep you.